and welcome to today's video. I shopped my stash for 5 palettes that I felt like were perfect for that end of summer into fall transition time. We can wear our makeup whenever we want to. The seasons don't matter. Like, I can wear neons in the winter if I want to, fall tones in the summer, but I do think it's fun to be inspired by the season. Maybe you want to shop your stash, maybe you're looking to pick up a new palette. I can give you some inspiration. I love talking about palettes. We're gonna have a good time. Let's jump into it. So let's just go ahead. I said I was gonna do 5 palettes. Technically I have 8, but 3 of them are just like little additions. Five main palettes we're gonna talk about. And you know, it may not be the end of the summer where you're living. I know we're all over the world, right? But where I live, usually the end of August into September, going into Labor Day, kind of marks the end of summer, at least in my mind. Now, I've had Christmases where I've been able to wear shorts. I've had Christmases where it snowed, so the weather can change, but usually, you know, back to school starts in August. It's marking the end of summer. So when I was thinking about makeup, I was trying to think like summer, bright, fun shades, fall, earthy, grungy tones. What palettes kind of have both of those? So I'll kind of go ahead and get out of the way. I didn't want to include in the 5. So this is like a bonus palette, of course, because it's my collaboration with Unearthly. I didn't want this to be like one of the 5 because obviously I love this palette. I'm obsessed with this palette. I worked on this palette forever, but I did want to mention it because I think this is perfect for summer going into fall, of course. We definitely have some neon shades for summer. This blue makes me think of summer, but then you can definitely create some fall looks with this palette too. These these 2 shades right here. This red, throw in a little of the black in the outer corner, put in jewel all over the lid, this bronzy, pinky, gold, rose gold, red, orange shade, and you can kind of have this like end of summer but into fall look. That's gonna be everything that we're talking about today. And then you can create like a cool toned eye look with these shades right here. This palette, like, it's versatile, y'all, but again, it's my palette. I didn't want to make it one of the 5, so it's kind of like a little it's kind of a little bonus, but I have other palettes here, so let's talk. Okay, I did pull a mix of new and not so new palettes to talk about, but I thought the Serenity palette is perfect for this kind of theme of palettes that we're talking about today, because look at these bright neon-y tones, like this beautiful pastel shades we have here. You can create something so beautiful for summer, but then it's also so good for like transitioning into fall because we do have these grungy tones. Like these greens right here make me think of when the leaves go from that bright, vibrant summer color to they're not quite brown and orange and red yet, but they're just darkening up. They're getting to that darker green, kind of like crusty stage before they completely turn. So I thought about these colors. I thought about this like brown olive shade. And of course, all the palettes I'm going to talk about today are palettes that I love and enjoy. The quality of these are great. So these tones I think are just like this, so pretty, while you still have these beautiful summery shades. If you have this palette, pull it out of your collection, create some looks, because this is just, it's a beautiful palette all the time, but I definitely feel like it gives me some inspiration for this time of year too. Okay, the Norns palette. Now this palette is several years old from Odin's Eye, but they just updated the formula and I've been having a lot of fun like rediscovering an old favorite. So if you have this newer version, if you have the older version, pull this out of your stash, use it, because we have these bright, beautiful shimmer shades. These make me think of like summer vacation in the water. You've got the sun, you've got the different shades of the water, like so summer. But then you come up here and we have these kind of more fall grungy tones. So I feel like you can really transition this palette well for this time of year. We have the browns and the kind of like mauvey, pinky tones paired with these vibrant shades. Beautiful, beautiful formulas in here. Like everything about this palette performs so well. And I just kind of like the mix of more grunge and more vibrant shades. So let me know as we go along what palettes you would pull that you think has this kind of like summer fall color story all in one, because I had a lot of fun shopping my stash for this concept, and I think this palette really does a good job of those bright tones. Like we have a multi-chrome in here while also still having some of those deeper shades. Okay, this is a newer palette to my collection, the ABH Cosmos palette. Now, I wanted to pull something that was a little more neutral leaning, but not completely neutral. And with this palette, we have these beautiful bright shades right here, like this kind of sky sparkly blue I think is perfect for summer. These kind of pinky tones definitely give me the summer vibes. But then you come down here to kind of this half of the palette, and I definitely feel like we have those darker fall inspired shades. We have the deep dark blue with the sparkly shimmer in here. We have these beautiful, beautiful brown shades. This like red brown right here I think is so beautiful for fall. You can definitely pair it with this like slate color, create something really beautiful. And then you can maybe like highlight the inner corner with this shade to give you a little like essence of summer. Okay, another not new palette. This palette actually launched around this time last year, and that is the Nomad Hudson Valley. This was a fall launch for Nomad, and I know the color story looks so fall. This is what I'm wearing on my eyes today, but when I was thinking about summer into fall, I was kind of thinking about what palettes I want to pull. This is actually the first palette that came to mind because you do have these beautiful fall tones, but I feel like you can also get a summery look because of the yellow, the orange, the red. Like this right here also kind of screams summer nights to me. And when you pair it with these bright shimmers like I did today, the mattes, I feel like these mattes over here scream fall, but throwing on this lime shimmer that I have all over my lid and this kind of orangey yellow on the inner corner, I feel like it really fits this kind of transition time. Again, it's still like full-on summer weather here where I live, but I feel like my eye is both summer and fall, and that's what I thought of when I looked at this palette, because we have our warm tones, we have our cool tones, we have some really pretty like vibrant shimmers, and overall I just feel like this palette is super duper versatile for the seasons. Really beautiful formulas in here, and yeah, I was excited to wear it today. Okay, let's talk about our fifth palette, and then I'll kind of give you the bonus two that I pulled. So the Nightshade palette from Gourmand Girls, definitely like Halloween vibes, right? Nightshade, and we've got these like poisonous, venomous flowers in here. And I think this palette can definitely give you some bright summery looks. I mean, look at this half of the palette right here. We've got like bright purples, yellow, green, these lavender tones, really light, beautiful shades. And then you come to this side of the palette and you get the more deep, dark nightshade, grungy vibes, the deeper gray, the black, the dark purple, the deeper shimmers over here. So I think you can create a really beautiful summer, a really beautiful fall look, mix and match, something like I did today where you have a little bit of the grunge, a little bit of the bright and vibrant. This is a newer palette, and I've been enjoying this one so much. Beautiful formulas, beautiful color story. Such a win with this palette. Now, every palette that I talked about, I do have videos on those palettes, so definitely check them out if you would like to see more tutorials, things like that. I have two kind of bonus palettes, and one of those is this Sigma Creme Brulee Quad, because I realize most of my palette preferences lean on the more colorful side. I pulled in ABH Cosmos. It definitely has some neutrals, but I'm like, okay, what's not a larger palette? What's something small, compact, that gives summer, fall? And I was like, let's talk about some more neutrals. And this little creme brulee from Sigma I think is so cute. This matte all in the crease, this beautiful intense kind of flaky gold all over the lid. Mascara, go, you are like summer ready. But you can definitely use this deeper tone right here, this kind of more muted yellowy vanilla shade to pull it into fall. And you're not getting something colorful, but you're still getting something that can kind of go with the seasons. It's small if maybe the larger palettes aren't your thing. And the formula in here is Sigma's great formula. The mattes are buildable, blendable, easy to work with. We've got two different shimmer formulas in here. This one that's more intense, foiled, wet looking. This one that's very like flattering on the lid, very smooth, but still pretty. And then two of the mattes. So I thought this was a good pick for neutral, smaller palette in this same category. But since it is a quad, I wanted to add it on as like a bonus. So there's number 7, the bonus palette. I pulled this one, but this one is like limited edition. It is no longer around. So I didn't want to make it like one of the 5 in case you were looking to not just shop your stash, but maybe actually shop. If you have this palette, pull it out. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This was my favorite Adept palette for a while, actually, because I feel like it's so unexpected. You can see in the mirror right there, those multi-chromes, so beautiful. We definitely have summer with this shade, these more bright shades, and then we have our deeper, grungier fall tones with this matte. Beautiful multi-chromes in here. Fun, unexpected color story. So I wanted to throw that one in. You can't buy it anymore, but maybe you have it. And if you do, shop your stash, pull it out, maybe mix and match it with some other palettes. I would love to know, what do you think? Like, what palettes come to mind when you think of this summer to fall theme? Give me some suggestions. Maybe I have the palettes, maybe I want to shop my stash, maybe you're going to talk about a palette I don't have, and maybe I need to buy it. I would love to hear what you think. What would you pick? Give me your top picks, share. So I will have it all linked in the description box, listed there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun watching this video, seeing all the palettes I picked, and please do subscribe so my videos will keep showing up in your subscription feed. I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.